Let us pray. Most holy and righteous Father, we come before your presence this day. First of all, thanking you for life and thanking you for liberty, for health and for strength. We thank you for waking us up and starting us on our way. As we come here in this community meeting tonight, we ask, Father, that you would guide this wonderful board, that you would be their ears and their eyes, and that we thank God for this community that speaks out on issues that affects them. We thank you for our police department that serves and protects those who they are over. So now, Lord, move in our meeting and give us the wisdom to do the things that are compelling in your sight. In Christ Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you very kindly. Let's go to the secretary report as we wait on our quorum to come in.
The report today will include incoming communications,
Right. All right. So, all right, we're good. We're gonna cancel that and just go into the introduction of commissioners. Let's do a roll call.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Smith, Commissioner Bernard, Commissioner Banks,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present District 4.
Commissioner Burton is excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore,
Present District 7.
Commissioner Hernandez, Commissioner Presley,
Here.
Commissioner DeWash.
Present.
You have 6 present, sir.
Thank you very kindly. I want to entertain a motion for the approval of the December 19th, 2024 agenda.
So moved.
Report.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to modify the agenda to add item number 10C for the HR report.
If there's no objections to the amendment, there being no objection, all in favor say aye.
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 Without objection, the motion is passed.
Well, yeah, for the approval of the agenda.
No, for the approval of amending the agenda.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just going for it. I'm getting all in favor say aye for the agenda with the amendment. Well, for the overall agenda, we need to approve of the agenda.
We need you to approve the amendment.
Approve the amendment. So the amendment is approved. So I'd like to entertain the motion. We was in discussion. We was in discussion.
Well, you asked if there's no objection, which was the time for someone to say something.
Okay, there being no objections, now I need to approve the agenda, right?
Yes, sir.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. I'd like to entertain a motion for the approval of the minutes of December the 12th, 2024.
So move.
Support.
Moved by Commissioner Moore, supported by Commissioner DeWash. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Let's do the introduction of BOPC staff, chief of police, and elected officials, and so on and so forth.
Staff present today are Robert Brown, Mr. Robert Brown, Chief Investigator Warfield, Attorney Goss, Parliamentarian Dr. Jackson, Janya Underwood, Teresa Blossom, Jasmine Taylor, Felicia Tyson, Ms. Batillo, HR Director. Mr. Drew Freeze is on virtual. For those persons attending today, I don't see, did you see Ms. Overall? And we have our representative from the 2nd Precinct. Also, we have Deputy Chief Blitz for Chief Bedison. Those are the only ones we have signed in and see, sir.
All right, thank you very kindly. Anyone, who has the oath? You have the oath, Chief? All right, let me get it. So we're going to going to the BOPC report, and we're going to have the oath of the BOPC investigator, Stephanie Brown. If you may stand. Yeah, she did. And let the record reflect, I'm sorry, that Commissioner Bernard is present. I meant to say that. Thank you, Commissioner. And if you can come step over this way in the middle, we have Commissioner Latrina Hayes, Kaisha Jones, Taylor Reynolds, Nikita Royals, Anita Washington, Janae White, and Yolanda Williams Davis. Let the record reflect that Commissioner Hernandez is here. You have anything to say before we do the oath, Chief?
Through the chair, and
Yes.
first of all, I want to thank this honorable board for your confidence in these investigators that have been with us for the last 6 and some plus a little bit more months. They have done an outstanding job in learning what investigating citizen complaints is all about. We believe that they are ready to start their professional career in a major way. We are grateful and thankful for all of the help that they have been to our office beginning in January the 1st. All of them, some of them are already in rotation, but beginning January the 1st, all of them will be in rotation, providing a significant help to the citizens of the city of Detroit and to our office. So we say congratulations to each and every last one of them.
Absolutely. Any commissioners want to say anything before we do it?
Congratulations. Good luck. If there's anything that any of us can do for you, please feel free to contact us. We're all available.
Okay. Let's go, Chief. How y'all doing? I've been watching y'all. Y'all been doing a marvelous job. We thank you for your work and your service and your dedication to the citizens of the city of Detroit. And what the public should know, this is probably the first and last time they'll see you unless y'all creeping in here to be able to represent the citizens. But this is the backbone of the Board of Police Commission work here in terms of our investigators, and your numbers are looking marvelous. You new investigators have been doing a tremendous job, and we deeply appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts. And so on this 19th day of December 2024, I want you to repeat after me as we administer this oath. I. Say your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution and laws of the state of Michigan and the Charter of the City of Detroit, and that I will faithfully and impartially perform and discharge the duties of the office as investigator of Detroit Board of Police Commissioners according to the law and the best of my ability. Give them a hand, everybody. You are deputized. Come on, give them one more hand for us. All right. We have the Chief of Police report.
Good afternoon. Deputy Chief Mark Bliss on behalf of Chief Todd Bettison. I'm going to first start with an update on injured officers. We currently have no members that are disabled due to a on-duty injury. Next up is crime data as of December 18th.
Oh,
Sorry. Crime data in regards to homicides, we are down 17%. Non-fatal shootings, we are down 24%. Robberies, we are down 13%. For the total Part 1 violent crime, we are down 7%. And carjacking, we are down 14%. Mental health-related calls for service. In the last 7 days, we serviced 290 calls. Calls for service in 2024, we are at 17,184. For service calls in 2024, we are at 14,882. Moving on to overdose-related calls. In the last 7 days, we have serviced 77. In 2024, we are at 8,063. And for service calls, we are at 5,751. Significant incidents. Incident number 1 is a non-fatal double shooting. On Sunday, December 15th, 2024, at 1:20 p.m., officers were dispatched to the 18,000 block of West 8 Mile to investigate shots being fired in the area. Officers arrived at the location and observed evidence that a shooting had taken place. However, there were no victims on the scene. Officers then received an update from DPD dispatch that 2 victims from the incident location were just dropped off at a local hospital, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. Officers arrived at the hospital to investigate and discovered both victims were listed in critical condition, suffering from gunshot wounds. Officers from the 8th Precinct secured the scene and notified detectives from the 8th Precinct Detective Unit. Detectives determined that the victims were shot after meeting up with 2 males. The suspect drove away from the scene in an unknown make and model vehicle. The incident is still under investigation. Detectives are asking anyone with information regarding this incident to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP or Detroit Rewards TV. Incident number 2, a fatal shooting. On Monday, December 16th, 2024, at 1:07 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 15,000 block of Patton to investigate a shooting. Officers arrived at the scene and observed the victim suffering from a gunshot wound. Medics transported the victim to a local hospital where the victim was pronounced dead on arrival. Officers from the 8th Precinct responded to the scene, and detectives from the homicide section were notified. Detectives determined that the victim was watching television upstairs with friends. The victim went downstairs when the witnesses heard a loud boom. The witnesses went downstairs and observed the victim shot. It appears someone shot the victim through the window. The witnesses did not observe any suspects. The incident is still under investigation. Detectives are asking anyone with information regarding this incident to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP or Detroit Rewards TV. Incident number 3, fatal shooting. On Monday, December 16th, 2024, at 5:40 p.m., officers were dispatched to the 2500 block of Fenkel to investigate a missing person. Officers arrived at the location, followed up on leads, and discovered the victim in a vacant building in the 13,000 block of Wildermere, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. The victim was pronounced dead on scene by medics. Officers from the 10th Precinct preserved the scene, and detectives from the homicide section were notified. Detectives were able to recover the victim's vehicle and cell phone in the area. Homicide has 2 suspects in custody related to this incident. The incident is still under investigation. Detectives are asking anyone with information regarding this incident to contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP or Rewards TV. Incident number 4, self-inflicted gunshot, 4-year-old male. On Tuesday, December 17th, 2024, at 9:31 a.m., officers were dispatched to the 18,000 block of Russell to investigate a 4-year-old male who shot himself. Officers arrived at the scene and talked to the suspect. The victim's father, the suspect stated he fell asleep on the couch, and the victim, his 4-year-old son, found the suspect's handgun and shot himself. Medics transported the victim to a local hospital, where the victim was listed in stable condition with a gunshot wound to the right hand. The suspect was arrested at the scene and transported to the Detroit Detention Center. Detectives from the Child Abuse Unit were notified. Detectives are preparing a warrant to be submitted to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for review. Additionally, this is a follow-up to the Mr. Thompson article regarding a traffic stop. We are currently investigating, so this is preliminary information so far on what we have. So we looked at all of the AVL, that's the vehicle location devices, around that area at approximately 2:00 p.m. And we found 2 vehicles. We looked at that, and we pulled the activity logs and the body-worn cameras, and there was no documented contact with Mr. Thompson. Now, we're still investigating because also during that time, we had an operation called Operation Winter Storm. So we had other specialized units in the area. So we're currently pulling that AVL and looking at that data to see if we have anything. But right now, preliminarily, based upon what we have, there was only 2 units. There was nothing documented. We don't have anything, but we're still investigating this case. Also, tomorrow, we will be releasing the Mr. Sherman Butler bailiff shooting video. It'll be released tomorrow publicly. Moving on, positives. Coffee and cake. On Monday, December 16th, Captain Conway Petty's retirement celebration was held at the Little Caesars Arena West Club. He served 47 years with the department. 3rd Precinct Holiday Party. Tonight from 6:00 p.m. to 8:00 p.m. at the 3rd Precinct, the community is invited to celebrate the holidays at the 3rd Precinct Holiday Party. Sergeant Santa. On Friday, December 20th at 10:30 a.m., Chief Bedison and other officers will distribute Christmas presents across the city of Detroit to families impacted by crime. This will begin at the Detroit Public Safety Headquarters. Adopt a family. On Friday, December 20th at 1:00 p.m. at the 11th Precinct, officers will be passing out presents to families they have adopted from the community. Overnight lock-in. On Saturday, December 21st at 10:00 p.m. to Sunday, December 22nd at 6:00 a.m., an overnight lock-in will be held at Urban Air Adventure Park in Sterling Heights. There will be food, fun, and connecting with explorers and DPD officers. And finally, on behalf of Chief Bedison and the entire Detroit Police Department, we wish everyone a very happy holidays.
Any questions? Commissioner Moore?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you
Yes, sir.
for your transparency on everything you do. It's really appreciated. Also want to thank Chairman Woods and Chief Bedison for the collaborative effort, as Chief Bedison would call it, that they had as it relates to the Sherman Lee Butler video. I know it was very controversial in releasing it. However, that collaborative effort between our chairman and the chief made that happen. So I'm very thankful for that. Also, I want to give kudos to the leadership of the 6th Precinct, Commander Newsom, as well as to the leadership of the 10th Precinct, Captain DeSaco. They were handling multiple citizen complaints over the past week and just let the chief know they're doing an outstanding job. Last but not least, thank you about the Bankley Thompson video. That type of situation came to light to me in 2021. A friend of mine from elementary school said he was at a gas station and the police ran up on him at like 6:30 in the morning and just asked, "Where's the gun?" and started patting him down. Since that time, I've heard multiple complaints of that nature, but the problem is people complain, but they don't file the complaints. So now it becomes what I would call a subculture issue, where we know these things exist, but there's no documentation of it. So again, thank you, Chief Bliss, for bringing that to light. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir. Commissioner Banks, then Commissioner Bernard.
Thank you. Through the chair. Chair, this one is for you. the Sherman Lee Butler video is being released tomorrow. Will that be placed on the Board of Police Commissioners website?
I don't have no objection to it, but it's going to be everywhere. All media outlets and all DPD things.
Right.
It's not our video, but
Right.
Want to make a motion?
Yeah. I'll do that because this need to be on the board.
Motion made by
I move that we place the Sherman Lee Butler video on the Board of Police Commissioners website.
Motion made by Commissioner Banks to put the Sherman Lee Butler video on the Board of Police Commission website once it's released tomorrow, and supported by Commissioner Moore. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried.
No, my question was going to be where it was going to be. Now we know. That's
Yes.
the best. That was the best news of all.
Yes.
Mr. Banks.
Well, absolutely.
Welcome.
Absolutely. But it will be released everywhere. We don't have a lot of traffic.
But it's a long
absolutely.
video, so
Absolutely. Let me finish. It's gonna be on DPD website, on a Facebook page. We don't have a lot of traffic on our website, but people can see it everywhere. And the media will have it, and it'll be placed everywhere. So they have options to go to. So that's why, So having said that, any more questions to the chief? And let the record reflect that Commissioner Smith is present as well. No question, further questions. Let's go to oral communications.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We have two speakers present, and then we'll go to Zoom. Our first speaker will be Ms. Fredia Butler. Our second speaker will be Ms. Williams. Then we'll go into Zoom.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
We at the 2nd Precinct are frustrated because we have had too many commanders. We have been very fortunate to have Sergeant Edward Jackson and our 5 outstanding neighborhood police officers. But when we been asked about our commander, it was embarrassing. He was moved even before getting to know the officers and the communities. A businessman showed me some of his recordings of problems he has been having and would like to meet and talk with the commander. We all must work together to have clean, safe, and peaceful communities. I gently held Lieutenant Young's arm to keep him from leaving the meeting December 5th and asked him for help. He said that Chief Bedison and he will work on what I perceive as being a problem. Commissioners, it is one of my responsibilities to ask for what we need in our community and get help. Now that we have more ordinances, we need more officers and inspectors to help maintain our communities. Our neighborhood police officers are assigned to work and assist over 53,000 people, and that's too many people for 5 officers. There have been times when they didn't have cars to answer calls, and yet I have seen cars downtown not occupied. That's why I send out robocalls asking people to wake up and get involved in our communities. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker. Want to say hello to Hester Willer back there. How you doing, Hester Willer? Absolutely. The chair of the Political Action Committee for the Detroit Branch NAACP, as well as one of the former Assistant Secretary of State, as well as former Executive Director for the Detroit Branch NAACP, and much, much more. Good to see you. You may be heard.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to speak about my rape. Last year, it'll be a year next month, this man drugged me, raped me when I was unconscious. And this is not acceptable. I don't know if anyone was following the report over in Paris concerning what happened, but when somebody drug you and rape you when you unconscious, it's not acceptable, period. And they act like this rape never occurred. Something needs to be done. If people do not respect their job like they should, you're not going to disregard somebody violating my body and acting like this never existed. And then secondly, when you give a person a badge and a gun, if they can't control their temper, and like I stated before, Chauncey, he threatened to do something to me, tie me up, and put me in the trunk. Now, last week, he threatened somebody because she called him out his name. But she's a guest. You are a staff member and an officer of the Detroit Police Department, and you ran up on this woman, and you punched the wall, and you was walking up on her, and if the other staff didn't help, he was gonna do something to her. And this is not acceptable. So how you gonna act when you out in the streets and somebody say something to you and you don't like what the person say? And this one is for the deputy chief, Pritchett. This the one who said I was a rat bee and I'm messing up her bread. She is in the facility that I'm at 3426 Mac. She's not a guest, but she's in there. The best way I can put it is making her money. That's the way she put it. So you trafficking officers across state line, making money off of them, that's, what kind of violation is that? Something needs to be done about officers living in the facilities is for homeless people, not for the means of people staying in there because you don't want to pay rent. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Our next speaker is Ms. Tara Brown. After Ms. Brown, it would be Mr. Rue, and then that would be the end of public comments.
Thank you. You may be heard, Ms. Brown.
Good evening, Commission.
Good evening.
I was pleased to hear that the video of Sherman Butler will finally be released, but this is what we were told previously, so I hope they go through with it. Just in case they don't, I've had a chance to look at one of the officers that was present and that actually tased Sherman during this situation, and what struck me in the officer's report is that it says there were 4 officers there. Officer Downer, and Officer Farrell appeared to have ridden in the vehicle together, and then Officer Goff and Martinez appeared to be in the vehicle together. However, it says, Officer Martinez and probationary police officer Farrell discharged their tasers. So it gets confusing when I go back and look at Kenworthy's statement, because it says in paragraph number 1, the bailiff and officers entered the apartment. If there are 4 officers there, if there's even 1, the bailiff didn't need to go back into the apartment. Then the decision was made by Officer 1 and the bailiff to go in the bedroom and tase Mr. Butler. Again, 2 officers rode there together based on this report. So why then is the bailiff making any decision to go back in and do anything to Sherman Butler? Because again, based on this daily report, there should have been 4 officers there, at the very least 2. Sherman Butler was shot 5 times, 3 times in the chest, once in the abdomen, once in the right arm, and indeed, his foot had his toes amputated, and he had something on it because the medical examiner removed it. The other thing, the body-worn camera shows the taser deployed by both officers not having the intended effect on Mr. Butler. Again, I would hope that this video that they plan on releasing tomorrow is from the beginning to the very end, and none of the choppy nonsense that we've become used to when these kind of videos are released. Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller.
Daryl Woods, Tamara Liberty Smith, Charmaine McLeod did it. That's who shot Kanisa. This was gleaned by doing investigative
Point of order. Attorney, can we get an advisement of the effectiveness of making an accusation on our public line about a murder?
Conclusive. And it demonstrates.
Point of order, can we stop the commentary? Yeah, just to
What
get
was
that
the question,
clarification. There was an allegation made about someone by name, an individual who the commenter is alleging has committed a murder.
You want to know if that's consistent with the policy adopted by?
Yes, of what is allowable in public comment to the protection of private information, a public citizen's information.
The rules of the Board of Police Commissioner does not address whether or not someone can be named. It does address accusations that are made against commissioners, and that is limited.
And so you could say the name. Is that the rule of the Board of Police?
That particular rule is not part of your standing rules. The other issue, however, is whether or not the topic in and of itself is appropriate for public comment at this time.
Can you answer that, Mr. Attorney?
It's the rules, the bylaws is silent in that matter. There's not much we can do. Just allow him to say what he has to say and move forward.
Yeah, make sure we amend those bylaws. Because that, to accuse someone of murder by name, it is really a heck of an accusation, and we don't adopt. That's his comments, and we don't associate ourselves with it for sure. But is it allowable by law?
Well, we're not talking about law right now, Mr. Chairman. We're talking about, well, you know what? That's not true. The Open Meetings Act does restrict that certain comments cannot be made even when you have public comment. But those restrictions refer specifically to making accusations. Like if someone called in and says you're a thief, that Commissioner Hernandez is a thief, that would not be allowable. If someone called in and was disrespectful, using profanity, that kind of thing is not allowable. The rule that was adopted by this board does not specifically prohibit calling someone and accusing them of something that's not a commissioner. That's the issue.
Even though they haven't been convicted of anything, or?
Mr. Chairman, if the commission feels that the statement being made is inappropriate, the commission has the right to vote to say your comments have to be restricted to A, B, and C. In other words, you as a board can say to this individual, the accusation by name is not acceptable standard for this board. You have the authority to do that.
Through the chair, I just have known it to be our custom to restrict public commenters from addressing citizens, and have always asked that they address the board. And again, I do recognize that because this is the police commission, that accusations of a potential crime would be something discussed in public comment. But again, being mindful of sharing private information such as an individual's name is where the concern is for me. But I will give to the prerogative of the chair.
Yep, I'll entertain a motion for it. Not to name someone specifically that we have no evidence of. We don't nothing that we can verify.
Mr. Chairman, at this point, the issue is whether or not the individual will be allowed to continue speaking, and under what circumstances. That would be the issue that the commissioner needs to address.
Okay.
Yeah, just let him finish, but
right.
Encourage him not to use.
We strongly encourage you to be very, very careful with your words and not bring accusations on someone that we have no evidence of. It's something that they have not been convicted of. So continue on.
Can I get my time reset back to where it should be at?
It's where it should be at. It's on the clock. We stopped you. You got 1 minute and 27 seconds.
Okay, so I'm gonna repeat this again. Charmaine did it.
The
reason why
excuse me.
There was a 7.5 minute to 10 minute time period where information should have came into her phone that no call came.
Mr. Chairman, you just agreed that that could not
Person that
happen.
was claiming
Yeah,
to have
shut him off.
on live has no.
Yeah. All right. There any more public comments?
That's it, Chair.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go into the secretary report.
Today we have incoming communications. First is the Chief Investigator's report to the board, which are the stats for November 2024. The next is in response to an inquiry by a board member, which will begin to continue a monthly report from the Department on disciplinary administration status of case dispositions, those cases being coming from Chief Investigator's office. And also, the department has submitted the HR report for DPD for November 2024. The announcements for today are, or is, I should say, is the next board meeting, which is also our next community meeting, will be Thursday, January 9th, 2025, 6:30 p.m., and the location is Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Myers Road in Detroit. And that concludes the report from the board secretary's office, sir.
Thank you very kindly. Chief Warfield,
Through the chair, I don't know if Commissioner Hernandez.
I was going to expedite us.
okay.
Could I?
Yes, sir.
Under unfinished business?
Yes.
Perfect. Through the chair. Well, actually, I'll yield if you wanted to provide commentary, but it's a confidential document.
Oh, no, sir, it's different. It's a totally different.
Different? Then I'll yield.
Thank you. Through the chair, I just wanted to alert the board that I do have handouts from our NACO training summarizing what our investigators and those who attended the NACO training learned down there with recommendations. So we'll pass this out today to every commissioner that's here and make it available also to the public on the website. So just wanted to make sure that you.
Absolutely, and please email it to us as well.
Absolutely.
And we expect that to come from BOPC's part of the shop too. Okay.
Okay. Through the chair, under section 12 of your binder, there's a confidential document that is not new information. There's a process that began several months ago in partnership not only with OCI and Chief Warfield, but also with City HR and a variety of different stakeholders. As a reminder, this body already approved a pay increase for individuals on the OCI staff. So this is not being introduced for the first time. What we're approving today in the motion that I'll make is specific to the details that are listed on this confidential document. So we won't necessarily discuss the detail and actual figures or the individuals, but we'll make a motion to adopt it holistically. And with that, I'll make a motion that we adopt the memo in packet section number 12 regarding OCI pay increases.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to adopt a memo in packet number 12 and supported by Commissioner DeWalsh. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
You had a hand on discussion,
Okay.
Chair.
It's discussion.
Point of
Okay,
order.
yes, sir.
I'm not contesting the pay raises, but are there any effort to address the pay scale of the administration people there at the OCI? I haven't heard no dialogue. I know they have a heavy, heavy workload, and HR, we should really look at their salaries in reference to everybody else besides those two individuals. And
I think got a pay raise.
Yep, I thought so too. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Through the chair, actually, that was the first group of individuals that received the pay raise, and they received significant pay raises.
Absolutely.
Early on, before anyone else received their raises. So we addressed that outstanding situation first. Thank you, sir.
For sure.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, not a problem. So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. Let's go to new business, personnel and training memorandum. $13, okay.
Is it 13? No. I think I lost it. Here we go. Memorandum from Personnel and Training Committee. On behalf of the Board of Police Commissioners, Personnel and Training Committee, please see in your binder section 13. It's a few pages behind the vehicle policy or the proposed vehicle policy update. You can see key updates from the committee meeting that was held this morning, December 19th, 2024. Board attendees were myself and Commissioner Darrell Woods. This is in regards to supervising investigator positions. On December 6, 2024, the Personnel and Training Committee interviewed 6 internal board employees for the position of supervising investigator. After thorough review of their scoring, responses, and evaluation of qualifications, the Personnel and Training Committee makes the recommendation to select acting supervising investigator Elgin Murphy as the supervising investigator to the full board for consideration. So at this moment, I'll make a recommendation on behalf of the Personnel and Training Committee to adopt this promotion.
If there's no objections,
I object.
okay. So I entertain a motion to.
There's no second needed.
Motion was made by.
So motion was made to
you-
adopt it.
So now you're
for
in debate,
discussion.
Mr. Chair.
Huh?
You're in debate.
We're in debate. Okay.
It has to be a second, doesn't it?
No.
It's a motion from a committee, doesn't require a second.
All right. So any discussion on it? Let's go roll call vote.
You had a commissioner who objected.
You just said she object.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So roll call vote.
Commissioner Woods,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Bernard,
No.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Burton is excused, Commissioner Carter is excused, Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Yes.
Okay. So the motion is passed. Let's go to. We got the proposal of adoption of the BOPC OCI Department Vehicle Policy.
Your Honor. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to pull that item off the agenda. I just want to review it and make sure that our policy is 100% consistent with the overall City of Detroit vehicle policy. I don't want our staff to be subject to more rules perhaps than they have, or we have less rules. We just need to do a comparison. That's all. It'll be on the next board meeting agenda.
I'll support that.
Okay. Motion made to
Thank you.
Through the chair.
remove it off the agenda.
Through the chair, and maybe I can get corrected, but I think if there's no objection, then we can,
There being no objections.
without a motion.
If you ask if there's no objection and no one objects, then you're essentially adopting a motion
Okay.
to amend the agenda by deleting this item.
Yeah. Is there any objections? Then moon shakalaka. Yeah. Let's go to.
I'm sorry, what did he say?
That's over your head. Yeah.
It is?
So if there be no objections to remove item C out of new business based upon the officer resigning, there be no objections, then we'll go to item D. We're gonna go into closed session pursuant to section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268A. The department requests for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits for Police Officer Lewis Wilson, badge number 1680, assigned to the 9th Precinct. What is the pleasure?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Hernandez, second by Commissioner Bernard. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. This will be a 3-minute recess. All right. Today is December the 19th. It's 4:25. We back in session. Please call the roll. Or, yes, call the roll.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Banks,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
President.
Commissioner Burton excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore,
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Present.
Commissioner Presley,
Here.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Present.
You have 10 present, sir.
Thank you very kindly. What is the pleasure of the board?
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to accept the department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits for Police Officer Lewis Wilson, badge 1680, assigned to the 9th Precinct.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to accept the department's recommendation. Second by Commissioner Presley. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
We get a roll call.
A roll call vote. A call on me last.
Commissioner Smith,
No.
Commissioner Bernard,
No.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Burton is excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore,
Abstain.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWalsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Woods,
Lord have mercy.
You asked to go last.
Right.
I'm gonna say no.
Point of order.
I'm sorry? I'm sorry, the chair?
Yeah. No. What's the number?
Call point of order.
Oh, call the point of order. What's your point of order?
Quickly, I mean, obviously we do a lot of different things, but can you opine on a case, Commissioner, if you didn't hear the arguments? You're a judge.
Yep.
You walked in late,
Yeah.
too.
I know, but that's
Yeah. Excuse.
hearing the case.
She walked
Yeah. You
I
was.
just want to know.
Yeah. You came in late too, so you didn't hear everything.
What you say?
You came in late. You didn't hear everything either.
No, I heard, but I heard,
But no, you did not hear everything.
Well, that's not a
Started
point
the
of order,
case.
so can we just move forward?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I just,
What's the numbers?
I have a.
Excuse me. Point of order.
With him after I came in.
Point of order. What's the numbers?
There are 3 noes, 6 yes, 1 abstention, which
Abstention
I
is
believe
counted as a no
as a no
vote.
as well. So there are 4 noes and 6 yes.
2/3 vote is required, the motion failed.
Okay.
Fails.
All right. Let's
Through
bring
the
in.
chair.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session pursuant to Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268A. The department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits for Police Officer Philip Rodriguez, badge 4310, assigned to the 3rd Precinct.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to go into closed door session. Any
Is there a second?
second? Supported by Commissioner Moore. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. This is a 2-minute recess. I ask everyone to clear the room. And we got one more after this. And good. All right. Today is December the 19th, 2024. It's 4:44. The Board of Police Commission meeting is called back to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Banks,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Burton excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore,
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Here.
Commissioner Presley,
Here.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Present.
10 present, sir.
Thank you. What is the pleasure of the board? Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to accept the department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits for police officer Philip Rodriguez, badge 4310, assigned to the 3rd Precinct.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to, let me go to it and read it. To, say it one more time for me. To accept the recommendation by the Detroit Police Department as it relates to Police Officer Rodriguez. And supported by?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Presley. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. A roll call vote? Roll
Yes.
call vote?
Roll call.
Roll call.
Commissioner Smith,
Oh, come back to me, please. Thank you, ma'am.
Commissioner Bernard,
No.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes.
Commissioner Bell,
Yes.
Commissioner Carter.
The police officer.
I couldn't hear. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Yes.
Commissioner Presley,
Yes.
Commissioner DeWalsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Oh, you're back to me. Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner Woods,
Yes.
nine yes votes, one no vote.
Through the
Okay.
chair,
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to go into closed session.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, you have to declare that motion adopted.
The motion is adopted.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Did you get us together?
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
I'll make a motion to move into closed session pursuant to Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268A. The department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay, but with medical benefits for Police Officer Donovan Donahue, badge 693, assigned to the 12th Precinct.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to go into closed session.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Banks. In discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. This is a 2-minute recess. It's December the 19th. It's at 5:07. The Board of Police Commission meeting is called back to order. Please call the roll.
Commissioner Woods,
Present.
Commissioner Smith,
Present.
Commissioner Bernard,
Present.
Commissioner Banks,
Present.
Commissioner Bell,
Present.
Commissioner Burton excused, Commissioner Carter, Commissioner Moore,
Present.
Commissioner Hernandez,
Present.
Commissioner Presley,
Here.
Commissioner DeWalsh.
Present.
You have 10 present, sir.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Sir, I'll make a motion to table item E. Do I have to read it out?
The proper motion is postponed.
Okay.
I would point out to the commission that your next meeting is a public meeting, and you normally don't do closed sessions at a public meeting.
So it'd be the 16th.
But after the trial?
You can't postpone to the 16th.
Can't postpone. Hold on. Excuse me.
You can't postpone beyond your next regularly scheduled meeting. My advice as your parliamentarian, if you want to postpone this, is that you move to postpone it to the 9th, and on the 9th, move to postpone it to the 16th.
Amen.
I will move to postpone it till the 9th of January 2025.
Support.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to postpone item E. Make sure that's item E, really item E on here.
I can read it.
Well, no, you don't have to read it.
It might be best because.
Yeah, read it. Yeah,
I will read it. So let's reset all this.
Yeah.
I will move to postpone item E until January 9th, 2025, which is a closed session pursuant to Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268A. The department's request for the board to consider administrative leave without pay but with medical benefits for police officer Donovan Donahue, badge 693, assigned to the 12th precinct.
Yep. And let me make the record let the record reflect that the documents that I have and that is on the website and is different than that of other commissioners, and so there's a modification. I'm gonna make sure that's item E because you stated.
Mr. Chairman?
I just read it out.
Excuse me, if you don't really need to identify the item, and because there appear to be several agendas, if you just postpone the matter of Donovan Donahue, then you don't have to worry about what item it is.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Motion made to postpone the matter of police officer Donovan Donahue by Commissioner Hernandez, second by Commissioner Moore. Any discussion?
I have an amendment that it be postponed, was it to January 30th?
No.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. It's a legal amendment.
You cannot postpone beyond your next regularly scheduled meeting,
Okay.
Commissioner Bernard.
It's just keep real.
But because your next regularly scheduled meeting is your community meeting,
But-
the parliamentarian's advice is that when you get to that community meeting, that you postpone it to the 16th.
So you can only postpone for one meeting. You can't postpone it to a date certain.
Any further
I
discussion?
got you.
No further discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried.
Through the chair.
Yes, sir.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Commissioner Hernandez to adjourn, supported by Commissioner Moore. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion is carried. The meeting is adjourned.